Yo, what's good? Welcome to another store on my CD collection. This is part 49. The album, got a couple albums over the past month and change. I want to give a shout out to my dudes, Toby Alvarez on Facebook, and my dude Lex Acevedo. Salute, my dude. You know what I mean? You know who y'all are. All right. Without further ado, these first. These first six albums, or I should say, yeah, the first six albums, you know, my dude Toby Alvarez hooked me up, you know what I mean? He blessed the kid, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. He blessed me with a couple of CDs and stuff like that. The first album that I'm going to be showing you guys is Markie's Weekend Warrior. This is his fifth and last album he ever put out. It was released in 2003. It was an album that just came out of nowhere, you know what I mean? I don't think it had any promotion and stuff like that. I heard it. I didn't really care for it too much. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of feel like this album, like he tried to be too current. He tried to keep up with the times, and what I mean by that is like by the production. You know what I mean? It just didn't really fit him. It didn't really fit Biz Markie. He should have just kept it traditional. You know, should have gotten like, you know, people like Large Professor, you know, Prince Paul, you know, like the old school rap. I don't want to say old school, but like the veteran producers from the 90s and stuff like that. I think he would have been good with that, you know what I mean? But he didn't get that. He was trying to be, you know, current and stuff like that. It didn't really work out for him. Not really that good. I have to do a review on this album eventually, but wasn't really too impressed with this album. But this is Weekend Warrior by Biz Markie, released in 2003. Then we got Jurassic 5 Quality Control, released in 2000. This is their second album. This was released in 2000. You know, LA, a group from LA. You know what I mean? They're I'm not the biggest Jurassic 5 group fan, I should say, but they come up with some alright stuff. They're like to me they're kind of hit and miss for me. The singles this is their second album, by the way. The singles off this album are The Influence, World of Entertainment, War Is Me. That was my introduction to Jurassic 5, because that was the first video I've seen from them, and I remember that song being played on Rap City, you know, back when Rap City was Rap City. And Quality Control. Yeah, Quality Control, which were the three singles off this album. Quality Control by Jurassic 5, released in 2000. This album was okay. It wasn't like, oh my, it wasn't something to go crazy over. That's just my opinion. Then we got Slick Rick's fifth album. Yeah, his fifth album and his last album he ever put out. And it is The Art of Storytelling, released in 1999. You guys should know who Slick Rick is. I need to get his The Rules Back album that came out in 91. That's a dope album. That's the only album in his discography I don't have, but his other albums I do have. I have his first album, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. I have Behind Bars, and I have this album right here. And I believe that was it. Slick, yeah. So no, I'm sorry. This is his fourth album. Excuse me. I thought he came in with 5 albums. So I have The Great Adventures of Slick Rick, Behind Bars, and now I have this. I just gotta get The Rules Back. But the album is actually out of print. It's hard to find. But the single off this album is Street Talking, featuring Outkast. That was a single off the album. And I want to say Frozen was a single too with Raekwon. I'm not sure. I could be wrong about that. I think there was a video for that. I could be wrong about that, but yeah. But I know Frozen featured Raekwon. That's a popular song off this album. But yeah, you know, this came out around the time, like, you know, Def Jam had the Def Jam 2000 campaign that was happening around that time and stuff like that. But yeah, Slick Rick, The Art of Storytelling, released in 1999. Then we got the Luniz. Yeah, it's the same Luniz that did I Got 5 on it. Yeah, the same group from the Oakland that used to roll with the Drew Down, you know, Bay Area hip hop and stuff like that. This is their second album. This album actually came out 2 years after their Operation Stack Caller album, which I have to do a review on. Came out with this album has 2 singles. The singles are give me 1 second. Just Me and You featuring Raphael Sadiq. Shout out to Raphael Sadiq. And Hypnotize featuring Redman, which they both have videos for. But Luniz, Lunitik Muzik, released in 1997. Then we got Canibus. This is his. I want to say this is his. I think it's his 5th album. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is his 5th album. With this album, he collaborated with Jedi Mind Tricks' producer Stoop, and you know Stoop did all the production on the album. And then you guys know if you're a fan of vintage Jedi Mind Tricks like I am, you know, with Stoop using whatchamacallit, he's using, you know, orchestra samples, you know, shit like the opera samples and stuff like that. Then you know what you're gonna get yourself into. Like, you guys like Violent by Design, you'll definitely enjoy this album right here, production wise. And obviously, you like Canibus's lyrics, then you'll definitely enjoy that. The singles off this album is Spartacus and Indivisible. Those are the 2 singles off the album. I don't know if they ever came out with singles, but I'm not sure. But I mean, excuse me, with videos for it. But yeah, Canibus. And I think around this time, this is when he actually went to the military and stuff like that. Like, I think right after this album, he actually went to war, you know, in Iraq and shit like that. You know what I mean? That stupid ass war that cost this country big ass debt. But I'm not even getting all political with that. But yeah, I think after this album is when he went to war and shit like that. So it was a big thing when he did that. But yeah, Canibus ripped the Jacker, released in 2003. Then we got Method Man and Redman's 2nd album, Blackout Part 2, released in 2009. Very disappointed, to be honest with you. I wasn't really too crazy about this album. I wasn't feeling the production, you know. Method Redman, I don't know, man. They still got it, but Redman, he still got it. Method Man, he's one of my all-time favorite MCs, but I don't know, man. It just kind of sounded, I don't know, kind of half-assed in my opinion. It's just he doesn't. I feel like nowadays he's gotten so Hollywood to the point where, like, you know, he's not really inspired no more, which is unfortunate, man. It kind of shows, you know, him doing movies, things like that. Just unfortunate. But the singles off this album is Ayo featuring Socrates, that was produced by Pete Rock. Pretty dope video. City Lights featuring Bun B, shouts to Bun B, and Mrs. International, that was produced by Eric Sherman. Those are the 3 singles off the album. But yeah, Blackout 2, Method Man and Redman, released in 2009. And I saw them live back in 2010. They're dope live. So yeah, very dope. And that's it for my dude Toby Alvarez's lot that he gave me. Shout out to you, my dude. Yo, much love. Yeah. So getting back, these next 3 are eBay purchases. I mean, not eBay. FYE purchases that I bought a couple months ago. And the album is DJ Clue's first album, The Professional, released in 1998. You guys should know who DJ Clue is. He's a MC, well, he's a DJ, mixtape DJ from New York City area. He's from Queens. He's from like my area of Queens. He's from like I think he's from Springfield. Springfield Garden. No, I don't think he's from like Queens Village. You know, from like Murdoch Avenue and around that area, like Springfield Boulevard. But anyways, getting back to this, he you know, he's known for his mixtapes, you know, and stuff like that. He's known for having exclusive joints from like established artists at the time. Like, he would like be like the only dude with the exclusive joints at the time, and people loved his mixtapes. You know, yeah, man, he was that dude at that one point, man. He had New York on lock, you know, as far as mixtapes at one point, especially like in the mid to late '90s. Then, you know, he actually came out with this album, and at the time he was actually under Rockefeller Records. So there's singles. The singles off the album, there's 4 singles. The singles are Thugged Out Shit featuring Memphis Bleak, It's On featuring DMX, It's funny because you're playing DMX right in the background. Uh, I like Control featuring Missy Elliott, Mocha, and Nicole Ray. This is before Nicole Ray got big, and this is when she was just starting out. You know what I mean? I think at the time she was under I don't know if she was under Timbaland at the time. I'm not sure. She probably was, which is why she's with Missy Elliott and stuff on the song. And the Rough Riders anthem, the remix to it, that one was pretty dope. This song was okay. It's not too bad. It has like that real late '90s vibe to it. You know what I mean? But DJ Clue, The Professional, released in 1998. Then we got Public Enemy's sixth album, I want to say. Let me see. Let me double check. Is his sixth album? Is their sixth album? This album came out, I want to say, a year after he got game. If you want to count that as his album, I consider it an album. But if you want to be realistic, I would say this album came out 5 years after Music and Our Message, which I have to do a review on. Very slept on album in my opinion. But getting back to this album, there's only one single off the album, and it's Do You Want to Go Our Way, which is the second track. This was a very weird album in my opinion, because I feel like the production is like, it was all over the place. I just wasn't really crazy about this joint right here. I don't know. I had to do a proper review on this album, but I remember hearing it, didn't really care for it too much, to be honest with you. But this is Public Enemy's sixth album. There's a Poison Going On, released in 1999. And if I'm not mistaken, this album didn't really get a lot of this album didn't get no promotion at all, if I'm not mistaken, because at the time, by that time, they weren't with Def Jam no more. They were like independent and stuff like that. So, and Public Enemy was played out at that time. I hate to say it like that, but it was true, you know. But Public Enemy, there's a Poison Going On, released in 1999. Then we got Vastair, Dueces Wild, released in 2008. I believe this is his second or third album, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. I gotta double check. All my peoples, you know, my Cannibal Ox fans, you know, you guys should know who Cannibal Ox is. It was considered Void Omega and Cannibal Ox. I mean, and Vastair, and you know, they're part of the whole Def Jux movement that it had going on back in the late '90s, and they were also part of the Addams family. Shout out to Cryptic One, Just One Art. You know, shout out to the whole crew, Alaska, and all those people. But yeah, this is this is his solo album that he did. It's actually not bad. It actually has some dope beats, man. Definitely not on the vein of Cold Vein or anything like that. Don't expect that, but it's a lot more street in a sense, but it's pretty cool, man. Vastair, Dueces Wild, released in 2008. Then the next two off my boy Lex Acevedo. Shout out to my dude. L's up all day. You already know. He was nice enough and he sent me these two albums, and the album that I'm gonna show you guys is All Natural Ink, 1997 to present, the Anthology Volume 1. Let me see how much time I got left. All Natural, they're a group from Chicago. They got this, they consist of two members, DJ Tone Be Nimble and Capital D, and they're from Chicago. You know, they got this start back in the late '90s. They came out with an album called No Additives, No Preservatives. They were like an underground. They're like one of the best underground groups to come out of Chicago. You know what I mean? And they had like a nice little movement back in the late '90s, and they're totally independent. You know, this is their record label, All Natural Inc., and this is pretty much, you know, artists under that record label. Like I believe Infinito 2017 is on that, under that joint too. A whole bunch of other artists, but you know, the artists at the time that was under their record label that you know, that they were under at the time, like from '97 to 2006, because that was the year this album came out, and it's just songs that they recorded over the years, and then they put it on this joint right here. It's actually pretty good, man. Pretty dope underground stuff. that dope underground sound, you know what I mean? Very, very dope. Anthology, Volume 1 by All Natural Ink, very dope. Then we got Havoc's their third solo album, Havoc of Mobb Deep 13, released in 2013. You guys should know who Havoc is. I did a review on his Hidden Files album, which I wasn't a big fan of. This album came out, like I said, 2013. This was like around the time where, you know, both him and Prodigy were beefing, and they were just about done with their beef, you know what I mean? Like, because he made a song called Separated from the Fake, and that was supposed to come out on this album, but he deleted it. So dope video too, dope song too, but you know, I'm glad they got back together and stuff like that. But this is his third album. The review, the albums on this album, the singles of this album is Life We Chose, featuring Lloyd Banks, I believe Eyes Open, and Tell Me to My Face featuring Royce da 5'9". Those are the 3 singles off the album. 13 by Havoc, released in 2013. I have to get his 13 Reloaded album, which I have to get my hands on. But yeah, Havoc 13, released in 2013. Last two are Amazon purchase. Well, one is an Amazon purchase, and the other one is actually a Fat Beats purchase, and is K-Rino's second album, Danger Zone, released in 1995. This is the release version. For those who know who K-Rino is, he's an MC from Houston, Texas. He's from a park called South Park, which is in Houston, Texas. He got to start back in the early 80s, 83 to be exact. And you know, him and a bunch of other friends from the neighborhood started a whole coalition called the South Park Coalition. And you have people like, you know, Gangsta Nip, Point Blank, The Terrorists, you know, people like that. So if you guys are familiar, you know, with the Rap A Lot Records, you know, that movement that you guys are familiar, should be familiar with the names I just mentioned. But anyways, he came out with his first album, Stories from the Black Book, but I'm trying to get my hands on, but that's just hard to find. It's expensive as shit. And you know, he came out this time right here, and I'm so glad I found this joint right here. I got it, man. I got it for dumb cheap on Amazon. Love this joint right here. Definitely an underground classic. K-Rino, Danger Zone, released in 95. And the last album is Young Z's musical Meltdown. I'm so fucking glad this album actually came out. Finally came out after all these years, man. Young Z, he's an MC from Newark, New Jersey. You got to start back in the mid-90s. He's part of the group Outsiders, but they're also known for their affiliation with the Fugees. You know, that kind of put them on, pretty much put them on and stuff like that. And he came out with the single Problems, which was like the first single of the album. And there was a lot of promotion of the album coming out, but it never came out. It got shelved. I forget what record label he was under. I believe he was under Elektra Records, or I forget what record label he was under. But they shelved the album, and you know, and then over the years they had, like, you know, the album leaked, but it was like bad quality. I mean, I have it, you know, I downloaded it. I'm not gonna, you know, it's not a secret that you could have downloaded the album. But the quality wasn't that good. It was like, you know, cassette quality and stuff like that. But I want to give a shout out to my dude Werner von Wallenrod. I apologize if I butchered your name. He was the one that actually, you know, got like the masters and stuff like that. You know, he had them cleaned up and stuff like that. And Dope Folk Records actually put them out on vinyl. And you know, they cleaned it up and things like that, and they put it on vinyl at first. It was a vinyl release only, but then luckily, you know, we got it on CD, and I'm so happy about that, man. I finally got this drum right here. Very dope, very clean. It's still dirty, but still clean at the same time. Glad to own this drum right here. And that's it, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed that review. I mean, that CD collection. Stay tuned for more. I gotta charge this shit. My battery's about to die and shit. But I'm about to eat. Alright, hold it down. Peace.